Prabhupada garden going. I just need one mic, wireless mic.
Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Harinam Sankirtan Yagya Ki.
Jai Nitai Gaura Premanandi. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Rama. Hare Rama. Rama Rama. Hare Hare. Pancha kalpatrupasya kripa sindhu bhaiva cha patitanam bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. So dear devotees of the Lord, we are truly, truly very, very fortunate this Sunday late afternoon to have with us His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj ki. And of course, in order to show our gratitude and appreciation for his appearance here in the Haveli, Sri Krishna Haveli, the traditional way, we have to raise our arms in the air. Haribol! 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 Before we begin this most auspicious event, I'd like to request our dearmost temple president, Her Grace Vishaka Prabhu, to please kindly welcome everyone. Thank you so much, Vishaka Prabhu.
Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharane Nirvisesa Sunyavadi Pasyata Deshatarane Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Vanchakopa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. So we are greatly honored to have Radhanath Swami with us today, that we can hear from him. And even more than hearing from him, we can see his example of Krishna consciousness, that how his heart is so soft, how he's so concerned with each and every devotee, wanting them to please Srila Prabhupada, wanting them to advance in spiritual life. He genuinely cares about each one of us from his heart. And that is such a wonderful example. We saw that also in Srila Prabhupada, so much wanting not just his followers, but everyone to taste Krishna consciousness and to progress in Krishna consciousness, to be happy in Krishna consciousness. So his example has been there for many, many decades. All of us can take shelter of it and be inspired by it, try to emulate it, follow in the footsteps, and just be so proud that Srila Prabhupada has created such a glorious devotee in Radhanath Swami. and so grateful that he's come to join us and be personally present amongst us. So thank you very much, Maharaj. We're very grateful for your presence. Hare Krishna.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Ballabha Girivaradhari Gopi Jana Ballabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Jamuna Thira Vanachari Jamuna Thira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Ballabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Jamuna Thira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Agyantimidandasya Gyananjana Chalakaya Chakshurun Militam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Juthapadakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Bidham Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakam Vitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Deve Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patithanam Bhavanibhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Namah Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Astratyadeshatarine. I am sincerely grateful to be among all of you this evening. We have gathered in this historic holy place of pilgrimage, Bhaktivedanta Manor. Thank you, Vishaka Prabhu, for so kindly and graciously welcoming me and everyone. And thank you all for being here. Last year, when we were together for Janmashtami, so many tens and thousands of people gathered together to celebrate Krishna's descent into this world. Just a couple days ago, I was in the city of London, and Dayamora Prabhu and devotees there, Radharamanji Prabhu, they took me from Radha Landanishwara's present temple to Seven Berry Place. Very small building. Knowing I was going there, by Krishna's grace actually, just the night before, I received a phone call from Shama Sundar Prabhu. He actually had no idea where in the world I was. But I told him I was in London, and the next day I was going to Seven Berry Place. He became very ecstatic. He was Srila Prabhupada's secretary for several years. And he said many times Srila Prabhupada told him and other devotees that his favorite place in our movement was Seven Berry Place. Shri Shri Radha Landanishwar was residing there. And he told me previously it was a Bible society. And they were sending missionaries all over the world to convert people. And I was thinking why Srila Prabhupada was so happy there. At the time there was just 6 devotees, actually 7, one was a little baby. And that was our entire movement in the UK. 3 couples and a baby. And they invited Srila Prabhupada to come, and they actually had no place. And they had no money to get a place. They had no reputation for anyone to trust them to give a place. But the devotees had a very sincere desire to please Srila Prabhupada by following in his footsteps. When Srila Prabhupada left Vrindavan and came to the West, he had far less than these devotees. At least there was 6 of them to associate with one another. And they had Srila Prabhupada to encourage them, by letters. And as far as I know, they went to London by airplanes. Srila Prabhupada took cargo ship. But they saw in him, I think at that time, he wasn't called founder Acharya, but they felt that spirit of what it means to, as founder Acharya. His example, his spirit, and his teachings were the foundational principle, what he exemplified. How, although he had nothing, he had complete faith that if Krishna is pleased and his Guru Maharaj, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada are pleased, then his life is successful. So they left their homes, they left their country, they came here. They left the sunshine of California. It was in the early 1930s that Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada sent some of his most accomplished devotees, scholars, preachers to the United Kingdom, to London. So Srila Prabhupada knew how much this place meant to his Guru Maharaj. And sometimes it is a well-known saying in India, and Srila Prabhupada, I believe, quoted it, that the wealth of India at the time was in the British Museum. And even once a journalist asked Srila Prabhupada, why have you come to England? We have our own culture, we have our own religion. Srila Prabhupada responded, I have not come to convert you. I've come to enlighten you, to teach you what you have forgotten. We're not these bodies. Wherever there's life, there is the presence of the eternal soul. And for every soul is a part and parcel of the Supreme Soul, or Krishna. We are eternally dependent on the mercy of Krishna. We are eternally the servants of Krishna. We are eternally seeking the happiness that comes when we please Krishna by serving him with love and with devotion. Sarva dharman parityaja mamekam sharanam vraja aham tvam sarva papebhyo moksha ishamimasacha. In the concluding words of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna tells, abandon all varieties of dharma or religion and just surrender to me. And then Srila Prabhupada said that you British, you have tried to take all the treasures of India and bring them to the British Museum, to England. All the treasures of India. But you forgot the real pleasure, the real treasure. Devotional service to Krishna. And I have come to bring that treasure, to give you freely what you forgot to take. And literally, that's what we saw. In 1969, a half a block from the British Museum, Srila Prabhupada brought Radha Londoneshwar. The actual treasure, not only of India, not only of earth, not only of the universe, not only of the creation, but of all spiritual and material worlds. Srimati Radharani and Lord Shri Krishna. And he brought the supreme treasure of all treasures of India and placed it right in front, literally right in front of the British Museum. And not only that, but it was in a society where they were sending people to India to convert them to another religion. He brought Radha Krishna there and was attracting hundreds and hundreds of British people and people from all over the world to engage in the loving service of Sri Krishna. How special this was for Srila Prabhupada. And within a couple years, it was completely overflooded with devotees. But from that small little beginning, we see Bhaktivedanta Manor, Janmastami. It's really so glorious. What was Srila Prabhupada's example? Whatever happened in his life, whatever happened in the world around, the higher principle he always pursued was samsiddhir haritoshanam, to please Krishna. Just about 4 days ago, I was in Calcutta, and I was staying at the place in Ultadungi where Srila Prabhupada first met Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada. You all know the story. We've heard it so many times. Srila Prabhupada was 25 years old. He had recently been married and had a first child. He was working in Dr. Bose's chemical laboratories. He was a very enthusiastic participant in Gandhi's movement. And one evening, his friend, does everyone remember his name? Narendranath Malik. He said, there's a sadhu I want you to meet. Srila Prabhupada said, I've grown up from my whole life meeting sadhus. I'm not really interested. Most of them are not really exemplary. He said, no, this one is different. Srila Prabhupada didn't want to go. And Narendranath Malik pulled him and said, no, you must go. Srila Prabhupada said, he forced me to go. People were in the street watching as they were pulling. And they came into this rented building at Ultadangi Junction Road. It was called the Bhaktivedanta Asana. They were greeted at the door. Then they walked up a very simple little stone, brick steps, and came to the rooftop. And there was Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada giving a class. They bowed down, and at the first instant, when they were just lifting their heads, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, in a very compassionate but commanding voice, he proclaimed, you are educated young men. You should take the message of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the English language to the Western world. Srila Prabhupada, he was quite astonished that he's getting a life mission before there was even an introduction. But he was honest. Like Arjuna in the first and second chapters of Bhagavad Gita, he was very honest. He said, let us first become independent nation. We're under the British rule. Who will listen to us? What is the dignity of India when we're a subjugated nation? And the seed of what we've been given was so much his Guru Maharaj's reply that politics and who's leading and who's ruling and all these things are always changing in this material. This incident in 1922 was actually right between World War I and World War II. It's not that they were just peaceful times where there was certainty in life. So much turbulence was going on. He said the higher principle of Krishna consciousness is the eternal truth, the reality. That we're not these bodies, these upadis, these external physical and emotional designations that we're so conditioned and addicted to are actually the cause of all our miseries and the cause of all the miseries we create with each other. Krishna tells in Bhagavad Gita, Aham bija pratapita, that I'm the father and the mother for everyone, the original. Krishna consciousness, the higher principle. Vidyavanaya sampane brahmani kavyasti suni chaiva svapaki cha pandita samatarsha. We're actually one family. One who sees the eternal soul, a part of Krishna. Wherever there's life, that is an enlightened person. That is actually what true Dharma is. We can call ourselves Christians or Jews or Muslims or Buddhists or Gnostics or atheists or Parsis or Hare Krishnas, Hindus. But according to the principles of Bhagavad Gita, the Jaiva Dharma, Sanatana Dharma, the actual truth, which all spiritual paths are meant to lead us ultimately, is to recognize that we're not these upadhis. We don't judge people according to upadhis, these unnecessary attachments to designations. To live in harmony with our own soul is true Dharma. It's the very purpose of life, and it's the only true goal of life. And only when we're living in harmony with our own souls. And what is that harmony? Jivara Swarupor Krishnadar Denyadas. To know that the only value of anything that I do, anything I think, or anything I speak, is that God or Krishna is pleased with me. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur told at the time of Abhay Charan and Narendranath Malik that this mission cannot wait for things to get better in this world. This is the true necessity. To rise above the mental conceptions and bodily designations and realize the true light and love of the soul. Krishna consciousness. Srila Prabhupada describes to us at that moment, he felt in his heart, this is my eternal Father. This is my eternal Master. This is my Guru Maharaj. Srila Prabhupada said, I accepted him as my Guru, not officially, but in his heart. While I was in Calcutta, it was very special, many things. There was the inauguration of the house of Bhaktivedanta Thakur, where he raised his children, where he had his printing press, where he wrote his songs, his poems, his books. He had his deities. He made a bhajan kutir for his guru, Jagannath Das Bhagaji Maharaj. Yes? during one of the ceremonies, a man comes up to me and introduces himself as the grandson of Narendranath Malik. And he presented to me a beautiful photo in a frame of a portrait of his father, Narendranath Malik. And then he gave me another photo, which was in the 1920s. Narendranath Malik is standing up, holding a Bhagavad Gita with his best friend, Abhay Charan Dey. They're both in their 20s, and they're both standing very deeply gazing upon the Bhagavad Gita together. And they were standing, and there were two other people kneeling on either side of them. And also at the event, there was two of the great-grandchildren of Bhaktivedanta Thakur and one great-great-great-grandchild of Bhaktivedanta. But it was there that seed of such an eternal message which is so relevant for the world today and for always. The more we see difficulties, the more we see quarrel and hypocrisy, strife, disease, suffering, we can easily be bewildered. We could easily be deeply discouraged. There's so many reasons to be angry, to feel hopeless. There's so many reasons to just want to get intoxicated or just blind one's eyes from all this stuff and just live in our own little bubble and try to be happy. But none of it works. The eternal solution is always the same. We must, individually and collectively, as a movement, as a spiritual family, remain focused on this higher principle. What will actually please Krishna? Yasya prasada bhagavat prasada. Oh, please our Guru Srila Prabhupada. And in many ways, keeping that higher principle in the forefront of our lives is actually our only true success. As long as we're waiting for circumstances to be more favorable, we will wait birth after birth after birth. And it'll never come. You know, I was recently listening to a recording of Srila Prabhupada in 1969, Columbus, Ohio. And he was talking about Kali Yuga. And the person he was speaking to, the poet Allen Ginsberg, was asking, what is Kali Yuga? And Prabhupada was talking, and he said, at the end of Kali Yuga, Kalki will come. And he didn't know what is the duration of Kali Yuga. He said, will your devotees see Kalki? And Srila Prabhupada said, he comes after 425,000 years. And then Srila Prabhupada said, those devotees who don't follow seriously, they will see the fun. So we can wait birth after birth after birth till favorable circumstances. But Krishna doesn't say abandon all varieties of dharma and wait for favorable circumstances. Surrender, sharanagati, take shelter. And there's actually only one time we could really take shelter, is that, and that's now. We're practicing. Each moment of each day is ways of trying to practice in such a way that we can actually take shelter. Kali Kale Namarupe Krishna Avatar. Krishna's appeared in this age of Kali. In the transcendental sound vibration of the holy names. Japa, bhajan, kirtan. Krishna's appearing in this form to give us shelter. And whoever we are, whatever our condition may be, we can take shelter of the holy names. And community means we're helping each other with all of our inevitable differences and varieties. We're helping each other to actually take shelter of Krishna in the holy names. We've all heard Srila Prabhupada. He tells the story of when Krishna had headache, and he asked his devotee, go to all the sadhus and the yogis and the rishis and devotees and tell them that I'll be relieved of this headache if they give the dust of their feet for me to apply to my head. And everywhere that devotee went with this request, people were horrified. We'll go to hell if we put our feet on God's head. And he went to Vrindavan under Krishna's instruction. And went to gopis. And immediately they started collecting dust from their feet, putting them in little containers. Bring it immediately. The devotee said, don't you know what will happen? And they said, yes, of course, we'll go to hell. But we don't have time to discuss this. Krishna has a headache. Go, take it. I said, you don't mind going to hell? I said, how could we mind? If going to hell forever means one moment of giving Krishna relief from his headache, that will be our happiness. And they meant it. Why would all of the acharyas throughout history be telling this simple story unless they really meant it? It's a sweet story, but it's very deep. This is the higher principle. We cannot imitate. But this is the North Star. This is the guiding light for all of our choices. How we can please Krishna. Whoever we are. And how do dear are those devotees who live with this spirit. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was living in Sri Navadvip Dham, at one time he was having kirtans throughout the day and even throughout the entire night at the house of Srivas. And at the time, beginning stages, only those devotees who were sincerely intimate, loving associates of the Lord were participating. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, among the devotees, how did they share their love? This is the love of the spiritual world. This is the eternal love of their souls. They were sharing it with one another, performing Sankirtan. Completely united in chanting the holy names of Sri Radha and Krishna. And sometimes during the day, they would be chanting, and then they would go to the Ganga to bathe. And sometimes they would, after the kirtan, or let us say, intermediary within the kirtan, Lord Chaitanya would just sit in the courtyard of Srivasa's house, and devotees would bathe him with water from the Ganga. And at the time, there was one simple maidservant of Srivas Thakur. She would, very humble, go to the Ganga with clay pots and bring them just away from where all the devotees were sitting with Lord Chaitanya. In fact, she would bring it during kirtan in case Lord Chaitanya wanted to bathe. And she would line up these pots in very neat, organized rows. Now, anyone can do that. Any child could just fetch some water in clay pots. They weren't heavy. And just line them up nicely. But she was doing it in such a way just to please the devotees who were trying to please the Lord. And as she was doing, Lord Chaitanya allowed her to see his dancing. She would be crying in ecstatic love. But she didn't just stand there watching him dance. She went back and forth and kept bringing more pots of Ganges water. Now in those days, even today, the Ganges is very wide in Navadvip. It's not that, she was going to the store to buy special water. Everybody and anybody, Ganga water was completely free. So what was she bringing? She was offering her love and devotion. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, after dancing and singing, he sat down with devotees and he saw her. And he said to Srivas, "Who is this bringing water and putting them in such nice, neat rows?" And she wasn't even bringing it to Lord Chaitanya. She was bringing it to the devotees. And the devotees offered it to Lord Chaitanya. And Srivas said, her name is Dugi. Dugi means suffering. Lord Chaitanya said, from today, her name is Sukhi, one who is happy. He said, the name Duki does not fit her. She is Sukhi. Not only did he give her the name, he gave her prema bhakti, ecstatic love for Krishna, the ultimate goal of love, of life, the supreme happiness, Ananda Bhakti. What was her qualification? She was just trying to serve a devotee, Srivas Thakur. And in this beautiful pastime, Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur, the author of Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat, he describes she didn't have much wealth, she didn't have high birth, she wasn't beautiful, she wasn't learned, but she was giving her heart to please Lord Chaitanya by serving his devotees. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave her a gift that even great mystics, great scholars, great powerful rulers cannot receive even after many, many, many births. One of the most graphic stories of this higher principles is told in the next section of this chapter. May I? There was kirtan at Srivasanga. And as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and this beautiful group of devotees were singing Mahamantra, beautiful prayers, bhajans and kirtans and dancing, Lord Chaitanya was so happy, and his happiness was making everyone so happy. And everyone's happiness was making him so happy. It's very reciprocal. Srila Prabhupada explains like that. When we're happy, Krishna's happy. And when Krishna's happy, that's our happiness. And our happiness is Krishna's happiness. That's bhakti. So the devotees were so happy seeing Lord Chaitanya happy, and Lord Chaitanya was so happy seeing all the devotees happy. And as they were singing and dancing together, in one of the rooms of Srivasa's house, his son, a small child, he had a very, very serious disease, and the family members were gathered around him, and they watched him, small boy, they watched him right in front of their eyes decline and die. This is their son. This is their cousin, their nephew. They began to cry very loudly. In fact, the sound of their lamentation and crying filled the entire house. When Srivas heard it, nobody else really noticed what was going on, but Srivas went right into that room. And he saw his own small son laying dead. He's a loving father. I'm going to skip ahead a few years. After the Ratha Yatra in Puri, they went to the Nrsimha temple, or after, actually, not the Ratha Yatra, after the Gundicha Marjanam, after they cleansed the Gundicha temple, Lord Chaitanya and the devotees, they went to the Nrsimha temple in Puri and cleaned that temple. And they were having kirtan, and Advaita Acharya's son died. And Advaita Acharya was crying, and all the devotees were crying. Everyone was crying because it's natural. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to that child. The child was totally unconscious. His name was Gopal. And Lord Chaitanya said, Gopal, stand up, chant. And Gopal stood up and chanted. So we find here Advaita Acharya, he wasn't indifferent to his son's death. So similarly, Srivas, when he went in there and saw his little son, but he told all his family members. And in Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, in his commentaries of Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat, and how it is translated into English, it doesn't say he chastised, it says he solaced them. He solaced his family by explaining the truth. That how fortunate is our child that he left his body while Lord Chaitanya and all the devotees are chanting kirtan in our home. If anybody, even sinful person, hears the holy name chanted at the time of death, they become purified. I am feeling how fortunate I would be if I could leave my body in such an auspicious condition. Our son is most fortunate. But Lord Chaitanya is happy in kirtan. We must not disturb his ecstasy. If he finds out about this, he will be very sad. So if you must cry, cry very softly. Because if you disturb Lord Chaitanya, I will end my life by going into Ganga. So they were understanding the deeper experience of what this transition really was. Obviously, they were feeling the pangs of separation, but they were also focused on this higher principle that ultimately, in whatever situation there is, everyone's well-being is when Krishna's pleased, is when Krishna's happy. So they became very quiet. And Srivas, he ran right back into the kirtan. And as Lord Chaitanya and the devotees were dancing, he was dancing. And the kirtan went on and on and on. Until toward the end of the evening, or the night, the kirtan was ending. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he inquired, I'm feeling that there's some sorrow in this house. Why am I feeling this? can anyone tell me? Did something happen? And he asked Srivas, did something happen? And Srivas said, how could there be any sorrow when you are smiling, happily dancing and chanting the holy names? Then another devotee, because actually when the kirtan was ending, then the news began to spread to some other devotees what happened. Before that, nobody knew except the family members in the room of the little child. So some devotee said, my Lord, Srivas's son died during the kirtan. Lord Chaitanya said, no one told me. When did this happen? They said it happened about 7.5 hours ago. But Srivas did not want to tell anybody because he didn't want to disturb your happiness. It wasn't that Srivas didn't feel the natural separation that a father does for a son. It's not that when you become transcendental, you become hard and cold to the things of this world. He was seeing through the spiritual lens, the eternal soul of his child. What an extraordinarily, supremely good fortune that soul has received. And it's in many ways a very accessible human experience that we can relate to the same principle of the gopis. It's not if the gopis go to hell, it means that everything in hell is going to be nice. They were so focused on truly the higher principle of pleasing Krishna, making Krishna happy. And that's what Sadhu Sanga is meant to inspire. When we're trying to help one another to come together on this higher principle of making Krishna happy, even in the face of tragedies, even in the face of great challenges in life, even in the face of the most painful losses in life. When Lord Chaitanya heard this, that Srivas, just for his happiness, he didn't say anything. For the Lord's happiness, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he cried out, how can I live without a companion like Srivas? How can I be separated from his association? And then Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu began to cry and cry and lament. He said Srivas's love is so deep, he's willing even to tolerate the death of his own beloved son for my happiness. How can I ever give up his association? This is a very, very deep subject. When Srivas's own son died, for Lord Chaitanya's pleasure, he danced and smiled. But when Lord Chaitanya saw, and Lord Chaitanya knew he was going to soon take sannyas, and he was going to be in separation from Srivas, Lord Chaitanya was crying. Srivas did not openly cry at the loss of his son, but Lord Chaitanya was weeping incessantly at the thought of losing his son, Srivas, who had so much love. He didn't openly cry out of his affection for Lord Chaitanya's happiness. As Lord Chaitanya was lamenting and crying, grieving in that sense, the devotees were wondering, what does Lord Chaitanya mean? That how will I live without the association of Srivas? And they all began to discuss with one another. And they came to the conclusion, something they never heard of before. This means he's going to take sannyas. And this gives us Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's love, not for all devotees, but for all the world. He was also willing to endure the suffering of his mother, Sachi, his wife, Vishnupriya, to give all of us the happiness of Krishna consciousness. Lord Chaitanya then took all the devotees. He said, let us go to see this child. And he went into the room. And he spoke to the dead child. He said, please tell me, why have you left the house of your father, Srivas, and mother, Malini? And all the family and devotees were wondering, why is the Lord talking to a corpse? And the child came to life and spoke. He said, "Oh Lord, it is by your mercy and destiny that I have taken birth in this family, in this body. I am the eternal soul. I am your eternal child. And by destiny, it is now the time for me to depart from this body. My prayer is, in whatever lifetime you want to send me, please bless me that I never forget you and I never forget your devotees. Let me always be your servant and the servant of the Vaishnavas. By my great fortune and by your great mercy, I have taken birth in the house of Srivas as the child of Malini. And now it is time for me to go by your will." And then he lay down and became silent. He was gone. All the family members love and separation, they were feeling such a good fortune. Actually, Sukadev Goswami declares in Srimad Bhagavatam that the value of life is not the number of years we live. The value of life is the moments that we remember Krishna, the moments that we please Krishna. Srila Prabhupada would give examples. Sometimes when he was in San Francisco in 1967, devotees would take him to redwood forests, and he would see trees that were literally over 1,000 years old. And sometimes he would cite, in the Calcutta Botanical Garden, there is a tree that is so many thousands of years old. And yet, Lord Jesus Christ only lived about 31 years. Lord Chaitanya was just here on this earth for 48 years. Komara Acharit Pragyo, when Prahlad was only 5 years old, somehow or other Krishna kept protecting him, but he was really in dangerous conditions. And he told his friends, really the value of life is not in the years we live or the titles and accomplishments we have in the mundane world. Because when it's gone, it's gone. It really doesn't matter how long it was. Some people, we speak, he lived 100 years, it was a good life. It's not the 100 years that makes it a good life. It's how we lived in harmony with our own eternal souls. It's how we pleased God that makes it truly a good life. Kamaladala Jala Jivana Talama. Everything in this world, our wealth, our educational degrees, our fame, all of our skills, our loved ones, our families. The reality is it's all like drops of water on a lotus leaf. That's the truth. At any moment, that drop is going to slip away from the lotus leaf. At any moment, we could lose anything and everything, and inevitably we will. Bhajahun Hari Padani Tire. Neha Vikramanasasti Pratyavayo Nivetite. But anytime we remember Krishna and please Krishna, anytime we have done anything or said anything that is pleasing to Krishna, that is eternal, because it's in harmony with our soul. A great tragedy of the world is people are displeasing Krishna, displeasing God, offending the very nature of our existence as spirit souls, just to try to attain and keep the temporary things of this world. While living in this world, we must have our occupational duties. We must, if we're grihastas, we may have to work. For brahmacharis, we have to endure each other. If you think it's hard living together with all kinds of different people in a family, brahmachari ashram is also like that. In other words, no matter what you do, there's going to be struggles. But at any moment, the drops of water are going to disappear. Everything. But how have we pleased Krishna? How have we pleased God? This is the higher principle. And this is what Sankirtan movement means. We are united on this higher principle because we're united individually with that higher principle within myself, and part of gaining that connection is how we deal with each other. Because it's all going to change. But have I pleased Krishna in the process? So the child laid back. He was gone. And devotee said, and Lord Chaitanya was crying. And he was expressing his limitless gratitude to Srivas Thakur. Crying because he was going to take sannyas and be away from such a devotee. And Srivas and his brothers and family members, they all fell at Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's lotus feet. After the child laid down again, and they said, you are forever our father, our mother, our master, and our son. We pray, we beg that in whatever birth we take, wherever we may be, we're not particular about that. Let us just be in the association of your devotees chanting your holy names. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then said, Srivas, you should know that myself and Nityananda are forever living as your sons. So be happy. And one devotee said, it's time to perform the last rites. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and all the devotees, they had a kirtan procession with the child's body. They went to Mother Ganga. They performed the last rites with great love and devotion. And then they all bathed in Ganga and returned to their residences. And Vrindavan Das Thakur, he describes in this context that this Madhya Lila of Lord Chaitanya's pastimes are so full of nectar, including the dead son of Srivas speaking the highest truths. So how to harmonize in our own lives? the sorrows that come and the joys that come, the gains that come and the losses that come, with this higher principle. The child lived and departed in the association of wonderful devotees, in the presence of the hearing and chanting of the glories of the Lord. Krishna consciousness is to share this good fortune with one another. Srila Prabhupada would sometimes describe that the purpose of our movement, the purpose of all Vedic knowledge is sarve sukhano bhavantu. Let all beings be happy. How could there be happiness in the face of so much sorrow? How can there be happiness in the face of so many uncertainties? Bhaktivedanta Thakur prayed, I have seen and considered all the 14 worlds, and my beloved Lord, my conclusion is there is no other shelter but your holy names. Thank you very much.
His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj ki, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So we'd like to take this opportunity to truly thank Maharaj for being with us this evening, and thanking all of you. Never seen such a sea of devotees, Maharaj. It's the sea of devotees here in the Haveli, Sri Krishna Haveli. Also, our School of Bhakti. Most of you know the Department School of Bhakti. We are hosting the very first FedEx event here in Sri Krishna Haveli on the 18th of July between 4 p.m. and 9 p.m. There are only 400 tickets. It's a ticketed event, so you have to go to the site fedexwatford.com. So that's on the 18th of July. And the theme is a wonderful theme. Always be love. Let there be love. So this is the theme. And we're very proud of the School of Bhakti for hosting this wonderful event. So once again, thank you so very much. We'll now continue with kirtan. Hari Bol.
Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Very loudly, please.
Hare
Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada,
Kripa Sindhu Devotional.